I decided to take my old Lenovo laptop, the one I usually use for light browsing, and install Omarchy Linux on it. If you haven't heard of it, Omarchy is a super minimalist, rice-heavy Arch-based distro with Hyperland, a tiling window manager. And it looks absolutely gorgeous out of the box. People keep calling it the prettiest Arch distro. So obviously I had to give it a try for a week and see if it's actually usable or if it will blow up like most bleeding edge Arch distros do. Spoiler, it did both. So let's go day by day. Day 0, installation. Installation was actually shockingly easy for an Arch-based distro. Found Wi-Fi immediately, no drama. The only slow part was retrieving packages. It took forever. But once that was done, everything finished without a single error. Booted up, resolution was perfect, just had to tweak a couple things in the monitor config, and wow, the default wallpapers are beautiful. It comes with this retro screensaver that kicks in after about 5 minutes. The default browser is Chromium, which I never really used, so I installed Firefox. Audio on YouTube worked instantly, volume keys worked as well. Everything just worked. Set up Signal in like 30 seconds. My first impression, this thing is polished. One thing threw me off immediately. All the key bindings are different. Superspace opens the launcher, which kind of reminded me of Spotlight from macOS. Kind of cool. Not too unfamiliar to me. But yeah, I accidentally hid the status bar once and had no idea how to get it back. I ended up just resetting the config and rebooting and everything came back like normal. Also, YouTube videos open in this weird floating window. I wasn't sure if it was a browser or some other way to access YouTube, but it turns out it's just the Chromium browser in a window. Day 1, I actually started using the tiling window manager. Coming from Linux Mint and its workspaces and window snapping, I thought I'd hate it, but honestly, it's growing on me pretty fast. Super plus Enter opens a terminal, tiles perfectly, no dragging windows around. Everything just snaps into place. It's actually way more efficient than I expected it to be. I set my display resolution easily through the monitor config, which opens in NeoVim by default, and they actually set it up with LazyVim, so it has all the plugins too. Never used those plugins before, but it felt pretty fancy. Day 2, settling in. Day 2, I'm customizing. It ships with Alacrity, but I prefer Kitty, so I downloaded Kitty instead. It installed in just a few seconds, and I noticed that Omarchy already has a pre-configured Kitty setup. I dropped in Chris Titus's Starship config, made the background transparent, swapped out my fast fetch operating system logo with these little anime pics that I like from a folder that I have on my computer. The theming across the whole system is actually really good. Everything just looks clean and cohesive. Day 3, taking it mobile. I got a brand new battery for my laptop because my laptop came used and the battery was pretty much dead. I had to keep it plugged in just to keep it running. So on day 3, I actually decided to take it outside to a coffee shop and see what it was like running it in the wild. And actually, I love it. Super convenient. For a hot second, I had second thoughts. Like, wait, should this actually replace Mint on my main machine? Nah, no. My dual monitor setup for Mint, editing and recording is just too perfect. But on the laptop, Omarchy was feeling really nice. Then day 4 happened. I rebooted for the first time, and instead of the beautiful Omarchy splash, I got the Lenovo logo. And then my old plain Arch login screen came up. I was like, what's going on? I logged in and boom, went right back to the login screen again. Logged in, went right back to the login screen again. What's going on? So I decided to open a TTY and look in there, found on the internet that the simple desktop display manager was just broken because Omarchy, I don't know, breaks it somehow. I didn't do any updates. Omarchy just broke it. So to get back into my desktop, I had to do system control, restart, SDDM, and then boom, I'm back in Omarchy. This happened again and again and again. I spent literally hours in the TTY copying and pasting commands from AI and in forums. A total bleeding edge Arch moment, really. So I felt good from there. Day 5, it happened again. Day 5, I thought, screw it. I'm gonna go ahead and just reimage the whole thing, fresh install of Omarchy. I saved all my config files to my cloud server, and then reinstalled Omarchy on the system, and I thought I was going to be golden. First reboot, exactly the same problem. Back to old Arch login, and stuck in that loop once again. Once again, had to manually start SDDM from a TTY, and then boom, back in Omarchy. I tried every fix I could find online, and nothing worked permanently. In fact, some of them even made all my key bindings go away, so I had to reinstall it again. So yeah, the infamous Arch gremlin got me twice in 2 days. Final verdict, Omarchy is hands down one of the most beautiful, well thought out riced distros I've ever used. The theming, the pre-configured tools, the workflow once you learn the keybinds, it's incredible. If you're already deep into Hyperland, love tiling window managers, and don't mind occasionally fighting your system in TTY when updates go nuclear, you'll absolutely love this. For me, on my little side laptop that I use for browsing, note-taking, and messing around with Linux, it's awesome, and I'm keeping it with a backup plan. But daily driver replacing my stable Linux Mint setup, not a chance. Have you tried Omarchy? Did it break your system too? Or am I just cursed? Let me know in the comments. If you want to try it yourself, I'll link the official site down below. Just make sure you have time shift set up first. Anyway, that's been my week with Omarchy. Gorgeous distro, 10 out of 10 aesthetics, 6 out of 10 stability, on my hardware at least. Overall, I'll give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe for more I install random Linux distros and regret my life content. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.